Hey guys, welcome back to episode 2 of Skyrim Differentials. I apologize that this video took so long to get uploaded. I just recently upgraded to SLI, and it was giving me a little bit of shit, but I think I got it fixed now. And I'm also trying to get a solid schedule for this series, but gathering all the info needed for it can take a few days, but probably around week 4 or 5, I'll start getting more in tune with things. So thanks for being patient to the people that have been waiting for this video. So in my last Skyrim Differentials video, I said that this week I would be comparing weather mods, but a lot of people that support me said that they'd rather see water mods compared before weather mods, so that's why I decided to go ahead and compare the water mods this week. But next week will definitely be the weather mods. So today we're going to be looking at 3 different water mods, all of which are by far the most popular water mods on Nexus. And those are Realistic Water 2, Pure Waters, and Water. And I'm well aware that Water isn't available by itself for download anymore on Nexus, but the author does have a mod that includes all of his mods, like in one giant mod, if you're interested. So just like in my first video, I'll compare each of the mods to Vanilla Skyrim first, and then I will compare all 3 of them to each other once I've compared all of them, to Vanilla Skyrim first. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So let's talk about the vanilla water to start with. Before you experience Skyrim mods, you really don't think the vanilla water is all that bad, or at least I didn't. But once I tried a water mod, I thought the vanilla water was pretty terrible to look at, even though it could have been a lot worse. To me, it's just very low res textures, and not sure if it's just me or not, but it seems like regardless of it being sunny or rainy, the water is always like glistening, as if the sun was like reflecting off of it, even if the sun wasn't out that day. The vanilla water also has no actual physics to it, it's just always moving in the same direction. Whether you're in the ocean or a small lake with like no waves in it, it's still moving around like it's wavy. And the water's just always moving, even when you think it shouldn't be. I know something as simple as the way water looks isn't a big deal to some people, but that's why I enjoy modding, because I love improving the little things of my game. And the water happens to be one of the many things I like to improve. So I really don't think I need to go on anymore about how awful the vanilla water is, because I'm sure all of you guys already know that from experience. So let's go ahead and take a look at Realistic Water 2. It was uploaded in August of 2013 by an author named Isaku and has over 28,000 endorsements at the time of making this video and close to 814,000 total downloads. Not downing the other 2 water mods or anything, because all 3 of them are absolutely great, but this is the water mod that I've always used because I just love everything about it. It vastly improves everything about the water in Skyrim, and has so many options for customization during installation. While looking at the file section of the page, you have the main mod up in the main file section, and then in the optional file section you have the option of choosing ENB textures or non-ENB ultra resolution textures. There's even a separate mod specifically for RW2 for use with ENBs, which I do use as well. The mod has compatibility plugins for realistic needs and diseases, and had support for Dragonboard and Dawnguard DLCs, as well as for Worm's Tooth and Falscar. Isaku made this mod from complete scratch, and his main purpose for creating this mod was to try and fix the fluid motion of the water, which Vanilla Skyrim failed to accomplish. The mod also adds various new sounds to the different bodies of water, so ponds are now completely silent and oceans and lakes have a gentle sound of steady waves. The volume of waterfalls and rapids have also been increased to make it seem more realistic. The mod also adds bobbing objects, so things like icebergs and ice chunks and rowboats in the water will bob around with the waves around them. Waterfalls have been sped up animation-wise, retextured, and more splash particles have been added for more immersion to your game. During installation, you get presented with a FOMOD menu with tons of customization, like choosing the resolution for the water, a realistic needs and diseases patch if needed, and then it has patches for the Dawnguard and Dragonborn DLCs and the popular quest mods Worm's Tooth and Falscar. It also gives you options for waves and a few extra options like bobbing boats, which I already explained, performance waterfalls, which I also slightly talked about, extended ambiance, and static ice, which disables the bobbing effect on the ice chunks that the mod gives you by default. After customizing it, you're good to see it for yourself in-game. So now I'm going to go ahead and compare Realistic Water 2 to Vanilla Skyrim. So I'll see you guys after the comparison shots are done, and I hope you enjoy. So as you can see, Realistic Water 2 drastically improves the way the water looks as well as the physics of the water. The reason for the lag in some of the clips was due to me using fraps, but I eventually had to switch over to shadow play, so that's why some of the clips are brighter than others, so I apologize for that. So moving on to the next mod, Pure Waters. This mod was uploaded in November of 2011 by an author named Last, and has almost 41,500 endorsements at the time of making this video, and close to 2 million total downloads. This was the first water mod I ever tried when I first started modding, and I used it until I discovered Realistic Water 2, but I still do think this is a great water mod. The purpose of this mod was to give the waters of Skyrim a more pure, clean, and natural look, as it should be in the cold land of Skyrim. This mod drastically improves the shoreline transparency, adds various streams, so each type of water has its own texture and flow effect. It also improves the water's reflection, makes underwater way more realistic than the vanilla water, and adds HD foam, rain ripples, and streams. This mod was meant to be used with the popular weather mod Pure Weather, and also has its own separate mod for waterfalls. If you look in the files section on the page, you will notice that the mod has its own landscape textures if you wanted to use them with Pure Waters, so I thought that was a pretty cool feature. Unlike Realistic Water 2 and Water, Pure Waters has no FOMOD menu for installation, so once you install it and activate it, you're ready to use it in-game. So now I'm going to compare shots of Pure Water to Vanilla Skyrim, and I'll see you guys after the comparison shots are done, and I hope you guys enjoy. it definitely is much different from Realistic Water 2 and obviously vanilla as well. Like I mentioned, Pure Waters was the first water mod I ever tried, and I used it for a really long time before I discovered Realistic Water 2. So the final water mod we're going to be looking at today is W.A.T.E.R, which stands for Water and Terrain Enhancement Redux. It was uploaded in March of 2012 by an author named Sparrow Prince. When it was on Nexus as a single downloadable mod, it was by far the most popular water mod on Nexus. It is, however, still available for single download on the Steam Workshop. But if you don't deal with workshop mods, like myself, Sparrow Prince has a mod containing most of his popular mods combined into one mod called the Ruffled Feather, and W.A.T.E.R obviously being included in that mod package. The Ruffled Feather has almost 78,000 endorsements and about 3.5 million total downloads, which is just totally insane. W.A.T.E.R is a continuation of Isaku's realistic water textures and terrain mod, but RW2 had a lot of bugs and problems with writing mod info into save game data, so Sparrow Prince just decided to make a new water mod from complete scratch, as did Realistic Water 2. Like the other two water mods, W.A.T.E.R aims to improve flow direction of the water, giving it more realistic movement. Each type of water was handcrafted, and just like Pure Waters, it aims to give the shoreline more transparency. My favorite feature about W.A.T.E.R is that it gives blacksmith trows animated water instead of the static mesh that it gives you in the vanilla game. It also makes rocks look more wet that are in or near the water, which I think is really cool. It of course also has plugins for Dawnguard and Dragonborn DLCs, as well as Falscar and Wormstooth. When going to install the mod, you get presented with the Faux Mod menu with tons of different customization options, beginning with Improved Splash, which decreases the splash you get while jumping in the water, different colors for wet rocks, Tro Water, and an option to add a variety of different plants, retextured puddles, animated rowboats, Dawnguard and Falscar patches, and a Sir Crabalot companion patch. Once you choose your options on page 1, page 2 gives you options for the textures of your water with either calmer waves, but keep in mind that the alternative plugin uses more memory than the default one. Then you get a page asking if you would like to have waves with the Dragonborn DLC. And lastly, you get the option of choosing between blue or green hue for marshes and lakes, and then a message asking if you've acknowledged everything and read everything. Then the mod is finally installed and ready to check out in-game. So let's check out W.A.T.E.R compared to vanilla Skyrim, and after I'm done comparing W.A.T.E.R to vanilla, I will compare all the water mods to each other. So I'll see you guys after the shots are done, and I hope you enjoy the shots. So that was water compared to vanilla Skyrim, and as you can see it also drastically improves the vanilla water and adds tons of really cool features. So now I'm going to get ready and show you guys all three of the water mods compared to each other so you guys can decide which one is your personal favorite. So I'll see you guys once those shots are complete, and I hope you enjoy the shots. Guys, so that was all three of the water mods compared to each other. I hope you were easily able to decide which one best suits your style. Personally, the best one that suits my style is Realistic Water 2, but I do love all three water mods, but I've been using Realistic Water 2 the longest. So, yeah guys, I'm gonna try and work on making these videos a little bit shorter. I don't intend on making them this long, it just kinda happens. But, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I apologize for the lag in a couple of the clips. Fraps was causing that, and of course the contrast difference in a couple of the clips. That was due to switching between Fraps and Shadow Play. So I apologize for that. It definitely won't be like that in my next video. I'll have that under control. So next week I'm definitely going to do the weather mod comparisons, which is going to be Climates of Tamriel versus Pure Weather versus RCRN. So hopefully you guys will be looking forward to that. It'll probably be another week to a week and a half, or maybe even 2 weeks until that video is released. because I'm still trying to get a schedule for these videos. So, this has been episode 2 of Skyrim Differentials, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I worked really hard on it. So I'll see you guys in the next video. It has been fun.